Alright, so I never really thought I would ever make a video like this, but I have decided to make a video talking about the recent decision that was made by Jane about discontinuing Intense Mode once version 13.5 arrives. Now before I get started, the main reason I am making a video like this is mainly because I am doing a playthrough of Intense Mode no items, and I also just kind of want to give my thoughts and feelings and input on this decision. So yeah, I am well aware that my opinion, thoughts, and all that don't matter at all, doesn't change anything, and it is pretty much pointless, but I just kind of want to give my thoughts and feelings on video and talk to some of you guys about this. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to upload this. I may even delete it if I even decide to upload it, so we'll just have to see what happens in the future. But anyways, there are 3 topics that I want to get into this video so I stay on track for the most part. Number 1, I just want to talk about my thoughts and feelings. Number 2, I want to read what Jane has posted on the dev blog and kind of talk about bits and pieces of what he said. And number 3, I want to talk about the future of this intense playthrough. So yeah. But before I get into all of that, I do want to say this real quick, and I do feel like some of you guys may need to hear this. So, I just want to remind players that enjoy Rejuvenation that this is Jane's game. This is Zumi's game. This is any other of the amazing developers that have worked the days, weeks, months, years into this game. It's their game, it's their project, and they are doing it for your enjoyment and hopefully for their enjoyment as well. So to anybody that plans or has said some hateful stuff or anything negative towards any of the game developers or any other person, whether it's now or in the past or future, you are making things worse. You are not making things better. You are not making things neutral. You're just going to make it worse, and it just does not solve anything. No matter what decision is made, it is Jane's decision. It is any other of the game developers' decision. You don't have to like it, but please don't cross that line on just being toxic towards others. It is not worth it. It does not save any. It does not change anything, and it honestly does not make the community any better. It is not needed, and that's pretty much it on that. So let me get into my thoughts and feelings on the decision. Okay, so before I get into that, sorry, I just want to warn you guys, I'm very repetitive, I'm very cringe. This is the first time I made a video like this, so sorry if I slip up. Most of the stuff that I'm about to say is pretty much how I feel. There may be a couple of things that I'm like, why the hell did I even say that? So yeah, you could just call me an idiot in the comment section for some of those dumb things if you want, that's fine. Okay, enough of me being cringe. Thoughts and feelings? To be honest, I don't really mind, nor do I care about Intense Mode being eliminated. Am I a little bit saddened by it? I mean, a little bit, but not really for the reason that some of you may be thinking. The only thing I'm a little bit sad about is the hours and time that I spent with Intense Mode no items and with my other Intense Mode playthrough. Like, the hours I spent into it, it's like, well, piss, if they're not going to continue it, it's like, I would have just done it on normal mode. So yeah, that's the only thing I'm honestly upset about. Hopefully, I think this was answered. I don't remember if it was, but I don't see why Intense Mode, with it being discontinued, I don't see why your game would like crash or bug or anything like that, you know? I believe it'll just switch into normal mode and you could just carry on with the game. Hopefully that's how that's gonna work. But that's honestly the only thing I'm really upset about, is just the amount of time and pain that I went through, and other people's pain going through Intense Mode no items as well. It kind of sucks from that point of view, but that's my feelings. I know some people may be more different, that they actually enjoy intense mode. Now, not that I don't enjoy it, but it's just one of those things that it's like, I can live without it. The main reason I play Rejuvenation is the story, it's the character development. And I do love the challenge that this game has as well. It's a decent challenge. You know, it is not your normal fan-made game. But overall, the main reason I play it is for the story. Plain and simply. So again, me personally, I don't really mind, nor do I really care about the decision. It does not change anything about the story or anything like that, so I can live without it. Like, I'm fine with it. And again, some others may feel differently, and that's fine. But, again, please remember, and I believe Jane has said this on one of his live streams, if I'm not mistaken with Zumi. I might be wrong on that. But this game was meant to be more of a story-driven game, more so than a challenge. You know, like, this isn't meant to be like an Emerald Kaizo game, however you pronounce that game, that's more challenging. This isn't meant to be like a super challenging game. It's meant to be, or I feel that it's meant to be more of a story-driven game. It's meant to be a game that has a lot of character development. It's more on that, more so than it being mainly for its challenge, if that makes any sense. I may have worded that weird, but I think some of you get the point. So yeah. I don't know, it's just overall, my thoughts and feelings, I'm just gonna be repetitive at this point, and I'm probably just gonna move on to the second thing, because I don't know what else to really say about that. Besides, it doesn't really bother me. I'm still gonna play intense mode. Still gonna play intense mode. I'm still gonna play through the game, whether it's on casual, normal, or anything like that. So yeah. Now I know he has brought up that he may bring it back probably more towards the end of the game, or may allow people to make a mod of the game to continue it, which I think that's fair. But since he does plan to discontinue it again, overall, it doesn't bother me. I'm not really saddened by it much at all. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts and feelings on it. We don't have to agree, it's perfectly fine, but I don't know. I've always played this game for the story, not more so for the challenge and all that. Alright, so with that out of the way, and me being cringe, let's continue on. At this point, by the way, I'm going to read what Jane has said. So yeah. So this post has been a long time coming. This is something that plainly just needs to be said. Intense mode has become a problem. Let's rewind a bit. Back around, I want to say version 4 or 5. Intense mode was added as an extra challenge for players. It started out fine, but as the game went further and further, things became quite out of control. Things that are our faults, and things that is just because of Pokemon's inherent gameplay flaws. So, to kind of touch on that real quick, again, like, literally as he said, I think he had good intentions for it, but I think, again, as he said, it just got out of hand. Most likely, and I might be wrong on this, mainly because of just, I think people just being toxic about it. Also with, kind of like as he said before, with stuff being, you know, quite a bit difficult and all that than it should be, which kind of leads into the toxic stuff about people being like hateful, like, hey, like, you need to like downgrade this, why the hell would you do this, and kind of being like rude about it. Maybe I got that wrong, but if I do, sorry about that. And by the way, real quick, with the whole thing when he says Pokemon's inherent gameplay flaws, the flinches that happened in this game, the crits, the misses, all that stuff, not Jane's fault. It's not Zumi's fault. It's not any of the game developers' fault. Literally go play Showdown for 1 hour and you will scream your head off. The amount of luck that happens in that game is ridiculous. I don't understand it. You can have a, you know, base 90 accuracy move, and it pretty much turns into accuracy 20% move. The amount of stone edges that I missed, air slash, hurricane, any other move like that, it is ridiculous. The amount of flinches that happen to me, it is dumb. And I believe a lot of people can attest to that too. That's not necessarily his fault, that's just Pokemon in general. It just sucks. There's nothing he can do about it, and I don't think anybody should blame him for that, if anybody has. So yeah. Now, by the way, I just want to say this real quick. I'm not sure if a lot of the toxic stuff is more so on their Discord or on the dev blog discussions and all that. I have seen a few kind of rude and toxic stuff here and there on the dev blog here and there. I'm not going to get into specifics of it, but I have seen a little bit of that here and there on there, but I'm not sure if it is bad in the Discord. I'm not in the Discord. I know somebody's brought up to me like, why don't you join? And to be honest, I wouldn't really say anything. I would just read everything and just not talk. I don't know, I'm just kind of more of a... I don't know if the word's shy. It's not really that. It's just, I'm not a talkative person, and I, just don't really like talking all that much. I mean, I have a few close friends that I don't mind being around, but I don't know, I have a hard time being around like new people and stuff like that, so it's like, I don't want to get into all that. Maybe one day I will, but as of now, I'm not going to. But anyways, enough of me being off topic and dumb. I'm not sure a lot of that toxic stuff is in Discord. If that's the case, then that really sucks for him and the rest of them. So, yeah, that is pretty unfortunate. Sorry, that's me picking up my phone. Alright, anyways, let's continue on. Everyone wants something different out of Pokemon, sorry. And fundamentally, the way Pokemon is structured, every experience is different depending on the selection of mons available. Yes. While this is a good thing, it does come with its own drawbacks. Balancing nightmares being up in front, sorry. I can say with confidence that it is literally impossible to create a difficulty mode that makes everyone happy. I see why Game Freak let go of the idea of challenge modes for the time being, so what does this mean? What am I getting at here? I'm just going to say it plainly. Now before I get into this, I want to talk about when he says, with balancing a game that makes everybody happy. Now, this is the one thing that's very, very unfortunate, and I think Jane Izumi has seen this and understand this way before V13. And it's just that you can't please everyone. You just can't. Now, sure, there may be some valid reasons out there for people being upset by certain changes. For instance, I was a little bit hurt and a little bit upset when Alolan Grimer was taken out from the beginning of the game. It hurt, but was that a deal breaker for me? Did I cry and kick and scream? No. Same with Lycanroc. No, I still played through the game. It's not like, oh my god, they got rid of it, I'm quitting the game. No, I still played it. And still, you could still get a Lycanroc and you could still get a Alolan Grimer. They just moved it to a farther point of the game. Not that big of a deal. Again, no matter what changes they make within the game, I just want to remind players, whether you're playing on casual, normal, or intense mode, they would not make a game that you could not get through, that you cannot beat. It's up to you to take the time to figure out how to get through the game. Whether it's for a gym battle, whether it's for a puzzle or anything like that, there's a way to get around it. Solve it. And if you can't solve it, try figuring it out on your own for a little bit. And if you can't do it, ask for help. Look up a Let's Play. I've always said it before that I want this to be a channel that helps out players. And if you're stuck on something, refer to one of the videos or comment something in the comment section. I am more than happy to help. And again, sometimes people comment down something for me to make a video, and from time to time I'll make a video showing you where certain Pokemon are. Or I may go through from time to time how to go through certain gym battles and stuff like that. I want to be a person that helps. But getting back on topic though, it just sucks that you can't please everybody. And again, these small changes should not be a game breaker and should not allow people to get, very mad and very upset towards people and towards the game developers. It doesn't make sense to me. Like again, it's not that big of a deal. It's not that bad. It's not the end of the world. You're fine. This game is still amazing. You're just taking it way too far, I think. Maybe I'm wrong on that, who knows, but that's how I feel on it. Alright, enough of me being dumb, let's continue on. From version 13.5 and on, intense mode will be removed from the game. Now I can see a couple of you heading towards the door, but I ask that you stick around and read the entire post before doing so. I understand intense mode is a feature that is beloved by many. However, the side effects of this mode existing have completely gotten out of control. The gatekeeping, the get good attitude, the back and forth on who is right and who isn't. This isn't what I wanted it to be. So this kind of gets a little bit more towards the toxic part of it. I've seen a little bit of it on the discussion page and all that. I just want to say this real quick. There is nothing wrong playing through casual. There is nothing wrong playing through normal. And if you have any struggles on casual or normal, that is perfectly fine. I will say this, I would put myself as an above average battler. I know what the hell I'm doing. Now, am I gonna do everything 100% correct and be like a Pokemon master? No. I make mistakes in battles. But so far with this intense playthrough, I think I've done very, very well. Better than a lot of others. But do I put myself on a pedestal and like kick at people and like be rude to people, be like, oh, you can't beat this on normal? Peasant. No. I want to help you. Like, if you have struggles with it, you know, ask me or ask anybody else that, you know, that you're comfortable with talking to about and asking for help and all that good stuff, you know. Again, like, I'm not going to be rude about it, you know. It's just some people don't want to go through hell and play these harder games. Even if you think normal mode is hard, play casual. And if people want to be rude to you about it and say, how can you not get through this as casual? All I can say is ignore them and find somebody that's willing to help. That's the only thing I could really say. There may be other advice out there, but again, people that are being rude towards others and all that, it's not right. And I just think it's really stupid overall. I don't know. But I guess with the get good attitude and kind of like going back and forth on who's right and who isn't, that just kind of fits into the other thing that was said beforehand about pleasing everybody. Again, like, you just cannot do it. And I believe Jane overall and the rest of the developers have to do what's best for the game's overall health, the developers' overall health, and the community's overall health. Now, unfortunately, the mass majority, or the unfortunate part is like the mass majority of I guess the community that enjoy the game are overall positive, but the unfortunate part about it is the toxic part of it. Sure, there's not as many toxic people as positive, but it's very hard to ignore that. You know, it is something that can grow and can cause, you know, the community to be something that it wasn't meant to be, and it overall can destroy the entire mood of the game, making the game developers unmotivated and unwanted to make and continue the game onwards. Okay, enough of me being cringe, let's continue on. Rejuvenation was supposed to be a fun project with fun characters, worlds, and experiences. It was not about creating some ultimate challenge. Again, like I said, this is not Emerald, Kaizo, whatever that game is, or any other harder game. This is meant to be a story-driven game with a lot of cool characters, a lot of places that you can explore, and overall just have fun. I think that's the main point of the game, not more so for the challenge. Alright, anyways, it was not about creating some ultimate challenge, even if it veered down that path anyways. In the end, this has no longer become fun for me, and that's when this becomes a serious problem. If Jane stops having fun, Jane stops making the game. This goes into what I said at the very beginning of the game. To anybody that's being toxic or rude or hateful towards any other developers or anybody else, this goes into what I said before. You're not making things better, you're making it worse. I would hate for one day for Jane to be like, I can't do this anymore. so many people would be just upset, and that would create a huge amount of chaos. I can see it already. But at the end of the day, if Jane, and hopefully that day never arrives, if Jane ever gets to that point, I think I would understand completely. Not even think, I would understand. If I was in his shoes, you know, I don't think I would make any different decision than what he's making now, and if things don't get any better and it gets worse. Now again, there is going to be a lot of hate and backlash towards this decision, but, you know, overall, I think this is what's best to continue on. And hopefully this may even allow some of the more hateful people to just kind of like move out of the way and get on out of here, so the rest of us can still be more positive and more loving towards this game and towards this community. I feel like I worded that weird, but I think you get the point. Alright, anyways, Rejuvenation is an incomplete game. I think even adding a different difficulty mode so early on was a bit of a hasty and foolish decision on my part. I want to focus on perfecting the base game before even thinking about trying and creating something else like intense mode ever again. I don't want this to be the ultimate end of the mode though, so I kind of want to talk about that real quick. I've always pictured Jane as somebody that is very into overworking, and I feel like he's somebody that just does not stop something until it is done. And I think it's been brought up here and there on the live stream that him and Zumi has made a little while back. And I don't know what goes into making fan-made games. I'm sure it has bits and pieces of hell, frustration, chaos, headaches, and pain. And through all of that, you get this. I'm sure they go through a lot of annoying stuff to make a game like this. Again, I never made a game. I don't know what goes into it, but I couldn't imagine that this could be easy at all. I'm sure this is very difficult. But not only is it difficult to make a game, think about it. Jane not only made a game, he made 2 other versions, that being casual and intense mode. Now, I don't know if that means he's making, or not necessarily making 3 different games, but that's 2 extra steps that he's putting on himself to create for you guys. So, with that being out of the way, I think this could even be more beneficial on it being more productive, as he said, on focusing on perfecting the game itself. Since he doesn't have to worry about intense mode, that's one big headache out of his way. So, yeah, anyways, let's continue on with reading. Yeah, I know I said I'm removing it. We officially will not be working on it any further, but those who are interested in keeping it alive are allowed to do so. We're handing this over to the community. When the game is complete, I would like to consider restoring it, but for now, I believe this is what's best for the game's overall health. And quite honestly, keeping tabs on both normal, easy, and intense mode altogether was just too much. I would agree. I mean, this game is like huge as is. So getting rid of that, I think, is a decent weight off of the game developer's shoulders. So I think this is what's best for them. So yeah. I lost where do I... Here we go. And quite honestly, I already read that. Easy mode shall remain for accessibility, however, that's really everything I have to say on this. It's a decision that was not easily made, but I believe it would be necessary going forward. I understand that this will bring frustration, but it's how things are standing as of now. Please, if you have any further comments and or questions, post them below. We will be reading and responding when necessary. Thanks, Jane. Intense mode warped the game's vision into something it was never intended to be. As a result, it is no longer being officially worked on. Intense mode will be handed over to the community to work on as a mod if they wish to do so. When the game is complete, we will consider the possibility of restoring it officially. Easy mode will remain. A popular comment, I guess we'll read this from Zumi. By the way, if you throw a crap worth it in the comments about this decision, sorry, I will bite your head off, and that's a promise. I believe that. Okay, so with that out of the way, I don't know. Overall, I think this is a step in the right direction, more so for the game developers. And that's something I just want to keep saying. Like, I know I'm standing more towards the game developer side than the other side. And normally I like looking at both fields. And again, like, there's nothing wrong with being upset about this decision. That's fine. If you enjoy intense mode, like, yeah, you're gonna be pretty upset. But again, there's no need or reason to be, like, butthurt about it to the point that you're gonna be toxic about it towards others and towards them. There's just no need for that. But, standing on the side with the game developers, again, like, this is their game. They're the ones putting in the work for your enjoyment, and again, hopefully for theirs as well. And if they did not enjoy it, I don't see why they would even continue this on for you. So yeah, please keep in mind, they're the ones doing the work, most likely not you. So yeah. Topic number 3, and the final thing I want to say, the intense mode playthrough. So, I think I'm still going to continue this playthrough. I'm gonna be honest, there's a part of me that's just like, if it's gonna be discontinued, is there even a point playing intense mode? Like, is there really a point going through this hell? But there's also the stubborn part of me that's just like, you wanted to do this, and I really do want to be able to say at the end of the game that I did this. I went through intense mode, no items. I didn't need no cheats, no god mode or anything like that. I did it legit, and I did it. There's also that part of me as well, but overall it's just like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to put the time, the hours into this. And I don't know. I think no matter what, I'm still going to continue this Let's Play and still play it till it's finished. But I don't know. I just can't get rid of those thoughts and feelings on me just saying to myself, is it really worth it? Like, does it really matter? So, I don't know. I guess overall, I will leave this up to you guys. I think no matter what, I probably still will continue this Let's Play, but I don't know. Overall, I guess I'll get your overall feelings and thoughts on that if you wish to comment something down below. So yeah, I guess to summarize this video, since I went on a little bit longer than I wanted to, overall, again, I just want to remind players that this is their project. They're the ones putting in the time to make this game for your enjoyment and for their enjoyment as well. Please keep in mind that you don't have to like the decision. That is perfectly fine. But overall, this game's, I think, point was to make a very enjoyable story, enjoyable characters, enjoyable adventure, enjoyable, you know, stuff like that, and not necessarily for the challenge itself. And again, yes, there is a decent challenge to it, but that's not its main goal, and that is not what Jane has intended for the game itself. And if you have sent anything hateful or toxic, or if you even thought about it, you're only going to make things worse. Think about what you're going to say if you may even do something, and I guess that's about it. I feel like this video is pretty much pointless and doesn't really matter, but I don't know, just kind of want to get my thoughts and feelings. Not sure if I will upload this, but we'll see what happens. Anyways, that's how I feel. I may have gotten a few things wrong, or may have said a couple stupid stuff, sorry, but yeah, again, that's just mostly how I feel about this, so yeah. Again, thanks so much for watching, I love you all, and I guess I will see you all in the next playthrough, or episode, however you want to word it. Love you all, see you guys in the next episode, good morning.